Good morning, everybody. It's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and I've got two, not one, but two book reviews for you. It's time for our early morning book review. And today we'll be discussing The 12 Deaths of Christmas and Mexican Gothic. Let's start with the Christmas one. Yeah. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. They were promising me that I would be shocked when I found out who the murderer was. I wasn't shocked. I pretty much knew who the murderer was. Now, normally I don't like murderers that are just psychotic, you know, when there's no point to it other than they're just crazy. And this was no exception. There was no motivation on this whatsoever. And even the police that were trying to find it just sort of happened upon the person in the act of attempting to murder someone else. And there was no rhyme or reason to it. It was, the characters were all very one-dimensional. And if it was as if, who wrote this? Marian Babson was just told by her publisher she had to do a Christmas mystery, and she just pulled something out of her hat and wrote this up. It's not very long. It didn't take me long to read. I wasn't invested in any of the characters, but I did read it all the way through because I wanted to see if I was right, and I was. So if you're interested in a mystery that takes place during the Christmas season from the perspective of a complete psycho, here you go. I was not interested in it. So, tossing it. That one is going to go in to get some book credit at my favorite bookstore in T-Town. Now, Mexican Gothic. This one really had me going. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, if you'll notice on the front here, NPR said it was a ghastly treat to read. The first part of the book actually was pretty interesting to me because it had that Jane Eyre vibe. You followed Naomi, who had gotten a cryptic letter from her cousin, who has been married off to this family that lives in this creepy old decaying place, and something's wrong. Oops, I got something in my eye. Sorry, technical difficulties. So anyway, Naomi goes, and it's 1950s Mexico, and she's the socialite, and she's bright and charming and engaging and flirtatious. And I liked Naomi as a main character. I really did. I liked her a lot. But then the story progressed down this very weird, there was a lot of fantasy in it and a lot of kind of magic in it, which I didn't like. I mean, I don't find those in Gothic literature, in like the straight Gothic literature, to be that appealing. I mean, let me counteract that with saying Dracula. Dracula, Gothic fiction, loved it. One of my all-time favorite books. But it was kind of set up to be supernatural from the start. This one was like, oh my gosh. The only way to explain this is supernatural, and we have to go with a supernatural theme now. And the supernatural theme, on top of being kind of weird, was kind of disgusting. I mean, I didn't appreciate all of the graphic descriptions of people fruiting. Yes, they were fruiting. I'm trying to give you a wink there. People were turning into things that fruit, and they weren't oranges or tangerines. And then there was a lot of hallucinogenics going on in it. Not like they were using drugs. They were using drugs, but I'll just tell you, it's mushrooms. It's all about mushrooms. So I've spoiled it, whatever. It's still worth a read because it's an interesting take on the Gothic. And like I said, I really enjoyed Naomi. I thought she was very, very good. But I thought the ending of the book, the second half of the book, where we got into this weird mushroom world, was just odd, and I didn't find it appealing. But that's my personal taste. I mean, a lot of other people, it was a New York Times bestseller. People loved it. So love it or hate it. But you know what? You might want to give it a read. You know, if you get it for free, I wouldn't suggest going out and slapping down, let's see how much it was, $17 for it. But you know, $5. I'd do $5. It says here, if Lovecraft meets the Brontes in Latin America, this is what The Guardian said. Mexican Gothic gets seriously weird. Yes, it does get seriously weird. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it getting seriously weird. So first half of the book, 4 stars. Last half of the book, 2 stars. I split the difference. I gave it 3 stars. So anyway, and what I'm reading now is I'm reading The Mistress of Melon. And if you, I'll put my, I will put a link to my latest book haul. The Mistress of Melon is in my latest book haul, and I'll put a link to it around here. I have to see where I'm at. Okay, so I'll put a link to it around here, and I'm reading that one at the moment, flying through it. And we'll see what we think of that one at the finish. Well, I hope you guys, if I don't see you again before Christmas, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a nice end of the year. And I will check you later. Bye.